What's up guys, today I'm going to be doing a review on the Luxotic BF kit. So here's the unboxing. As we can see, the packaging. So straight away in the box, first thing we see is the mod. And the Atty, of course. Let's dive down and see what else we've got in the box. Got the warning cards, that's always nice to see. Product information, overview of the Atty and overview of the mod. In this little box we have got a spare bottle, Allen key, O-rings, spare screws, and this piece here, this old 10 piece, is an additional cap for the atomizer that will hold a bigger drip tip, the 810 size, similar to the Goon RDA. Now if we get to the mod, see we've got this nice honeycomb Ultem acrylic style. This is just one of the options. There are multiple other options available. We've got a green colour of this, and there's some hybrid resin which are all swirly coloured patterns. I'm going to take a look at the Atty first. So we have this section here, so you can pop that open to have a look at your coil. And while we're down here, it does come pre-installed with this coil right here, which is a very nice alien Clapton, already wicked up and ready to juice up and go. Now the airflow comes in the side here through these holes and then is directed through the channel on the deck directly to the coil. We've also got this atomizer ring here, beauty ring, just to bring the diameter out to the full size of the mod. If we open it up to have a look inside, see the door is just held on by magnets to this plate here as well as the battery, so that's not going to be falling off anytime soon. Right, we've got the battery ribbon in here, so it's easy to pull the battery in and out. Behind here we've got all the circuitry and the inner workings. To change the bottle, just literally pull off this little tab on the bottom, it's held on by magnets as well. And then we just push down on this. See, the bottle is on a plunger system, so when we pull the bottle out, there's no fiddly cap to unscrew or deal with. Just fill up the bottle, place it in there, and it'll form a seal on this rubber section, and that slides up the tube. Just pop the cap on, pop a battery in, and then pop the door on. And we're good to go. So now I'm actually going to show you how to put your own coil in the Luxotic box mod. So here I'm just going to use one of these Own Boy flat Claptons. So just pop the cap off, and you're actually going to have to remove the ring on this one. So I've removed the build that comes in here as standard, and to do so, just loosen these screws in here. They're standard hex screw, and I've already loosened them, so that's all ready. So now I'm just going to wrap my coil. Now I'm going to be using the large size today, which is the 1.25 by 0.7. That's roughly 22 gauge flat. Now the beauty of these Own Boy flat Claptons is they come pre-packaged in a tube, so they're already in nice cut to length sizes. That's going to be perfect. So, grab my wire. You want to take into account how you're going to be mounting this. So, in this RDA, we've got these two slots there. Now you're going to have to make sure that as you wrap the coil, it comes out of one into the other. Just something to note, it will be different for every RDA. So I want to do 4 wraps, and I'm going to go around 2.5 millimeters. So I'll wrap those nice and tightly, making sure you put an even pressure on the wire as it rotates round. See there, I've got my coil. Now we just have to bend the legs so they fit into our RDA perfectly. So the spacing is absolutely fine. What I'm going to do, just take the coil, bend a leg outwards. So now you see we've got that outwards bend on this leg closest to you there. I'll pull the other one over us a little bit more. So now they're parallel with each other. Now I'm going to line it up where I want the coil to be sitting. So it'll line up just about there. And then I'm going to bend these legs so that they go down directly into those slots. And to do that, just grab the pliers onto the wire, like so. Don't need it in the rod at this point. And just push the leg so it's at a 90 degree. So that's one leg there. And then we just do the same on the other. There we go. I'll just check that that is all lined up, which it is indeed. Now I just have to trim the legs, but beforehand I'm just going to test the depth, so how far it's going to go into that slot. I can see that it's going to go down about that far, so I need to take into account I need about 3 millimeters of leg length. Sorry, 3.5 there. So I can trim them both right about there. Take my handy snips, my very blunt snips. That's one. And that's the other. Now we have the coil ready. So now we're just going to insert it in. I'm going to hold it in place. And just take my hex driver. It does come with Allen key. I'm just using a different one. Alright, now that's firm and secure in there. I can see that it lines up perfectly with those airflow slots there. So it's going to be getting direct air contact to the side of the coil. Now what we need to do is just pop a battery in. A pulse. You want to just give gentle pushes of the button. So gentle taps of the button. You'll see it will arc to start with. You'll have some hot spots, but as with any coil, you just have to tweezer them out. Just give it a bit of poking, a bit of wiggling. Eventually, it will start to heat from the inside to the outside with an even glow. And that's exactly what we want. So now I'm just going to let that cool down. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to prepare my wick. I use cotton bacon. Comes in these nice neat strands, little clumps. So you can quite easily just tear off a piece. Now I'm using a 2.5mm coil, so that's actually more than plenty for one wick. So we'll just tear off the strand. Pinch and roll the ends. So now I've got a nice point. I can just put that through. You want to tease it back and forth until you get the right tension. You want it not too tight that it's holding the entire wick and pulling the coil with it, but you want it loose enough so that you can actually move it. That's about perfect. So now all I'm going to do is trim the ends with some nice sharp scissors. It's quite a large juice deck or juice well on the Tobino RDA, so I've got quite a bit of wick there, and that's just because there's a lot of juice to soak up. Now what I like to do at this point is just feather out my wicks. You don't have to do this, but I just find it helps be a bit more absorbent on the ends of the cotton. So you can use the end of your tweezers for this, or I'm just using the little toothpick on a Swiss Army knife. Perfect little tool. At this point, all we've got to do is fold this wick, tuck it into the juice well. That's one side. And there's the other. That is pretty much done. I'm just fiddling with my wick slightly there to make sure that none of it is blocking the air channel in there or in there. And that right there is pretty much good to go. So now all we need to do is get our juice. I'm going to be using the Cosmic Coffee. So just a few drops on the coil itself. That just helps soak into all of those Clapton windings. And then I'm going to refill the bottle. It's so easy to refill this thing. Takes no time at all. full. And now just squeeze the bottle. You can see the liquid coming in the bottom there and getting sucked back when you release pressure on the bottle. So I just push it and hold to keep that juice up in there so it soaks into the wicks. And we can see there, now it's soaked in, that wick is nice and soaked up. Absorbed all of the liquid from the well. Just give it a little pulse. She's firing up nicely. Just pop the top cap back on. And screw the RDA to get that beauty ring back on. Line up the airflow. And she's vaping a treat. So we're going to go back up to FaceTime now and summarise the Luxotic BF kit. So that was the Luxotic and Tobino RDA from Wismec. And what can I say really, it's very difficult to fault this thing, especially for the price. The construction is solid, sturdy, not too heavy, like weighing you down all day, but it's heavy enough to have that sort of sturdy heft, if that makes sense. The flavour from the Atty is absolutely outstanding. I mean, this thing is comparable to something extremely high-end, in my opinion. Perfect to carry all day. It doesn't go through battery life too quickly, but obviously that's dependent on the coil you build. I've been using this for 2 weeks now, 2 weeks solid, alongside my other mods, but I found I've been going to this more often than a lot of the other ones, which is surprising. I find with a low ohm build for plenty of vapour and flavour, I go for about 2 batteries a day, which isn't bad for any 18650 mechanical mod at all, really. I think this looks outstanding, the machining quality that's gone into it, especially this honeycomb design. That's usually not cheap to do. I've seen a couple of high-end mods use this kind of finish, and they're extremely expensive. So, I mean, I guess to sum this up, value for money is 10 out of 10, easily. Build quality, 9 out of 10. The only niggle I can say is the button. If you slightly push it around, it rattles slightly. It's very difficult to notice. Don't know if you can even hear that. But yeah, that's a very, very minor niggle. I'm really struggling to find anything bad to say about it, to be honest. Actually, there's one small issue with this, and it's that the bottles are quite stiff. They do take a firm squeeze. Now, this could be seen as a positive because it means you don't overfill your Atty or leak anywhere. But for me, for my personal taste, I do prefer the softer bottles, like the silicone bottles. But there is a modification you can do to this. Now, I'm not suggesting you do it, but if you get on with the silicone bottles a lot better, you find that this is an issue, this bottle in here, then that option is out there, which you can find quite easily on YouTube. Just search Luxotic bottle mod. I can't get over how good this thing tastes. I mean, airflow direct to the coil is definitely the best way, either side. Single coil, in my opinion, has always given me the best flavour. The adjustable airflow on this is great as well. You can have it from wide open, 3 holes. As you rotate it, you can get it down to 1 hole if you like that tighter draw. That really concentrated flavour, although I would say that's suited to less high wattage cloudy builds like this one. The flat Clapton we just put in there does produce a lot of heat, which is great for flavour, but maximum vapour production obviously. So 3 holes open on this build. Lovely. Can't really say much more positive for the Luxotic BF kit. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can buy it. It's a fantastic price for the whole kit. Comes with plenty of accessories as you've seen, and after 2 weeks I will definitely be using this constantly. Thanks very much. Bye guys.